Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. Today I am going to be going through all of the 2026 Powersheets collection. I do have full reviews and walkthroughs of the 2026 Powersheets, the Fresh Start daily and weekly goal planners, as well as the season by season daily and weekly planners. However, I thought it would be fun to go through and kind of compare all of the different planners and how you would use them for goal planning and planning in general for the new year. And I did actually go back and look through all of the Powersheets that I could find, and I found quite a few. There are definitely some missing, and it's possible that they are in bins in my basement or buried in my master bedroom cubby space, and I just cannot find them. But I do have many of the planners, so I thought I would show some of them to you. Also, I've gotten some questions about comparing the different colors of, especially with the leaf for 2026 versus some of the greens in the past, so I will do that as well. Now, I started using the dated full year Powersheets, I think in 2017. I started using Powersheets in 2015, but back then I purchased the 6-month undated version because I've been goal planning since high school. I absolutely love it. And I originally started purchasing the Powersheets primarily for the prep work. The prep work has been streamlined a lot over the years. There were years that it was close to 100 pages, I think, of prep work. And I love all of that reflection. I think it's around 50 to 55 pages now. I can look in just a second. And I know that I have blog posts about Powersheets before 2018, but these are the ones that I could find. So these were the confetti or the petal covers from 2018 and 2019. Plastic coil, that is what I always had, was the plastic coil. I think that there was one year that it was, maybe the first 2 years, she had them punched for a binder, I think. But those are the old school plastic coil with this nice soft cover that's really, I don't know, plasticky and easy to wipe off. Loved those Powersheets. But then in 2020, she started offering the linen covers. And this is the cover that I chose for 2020. In 2021, it was this beautiful blue cover. In 2022, it was the beautiful 10-year anniversary green. Absolutely love this. I can't find my 2023 goal planner, but I did find 2024, which I got this beautiful purple. I almost forgot my 2025 Powersheets. The beautiful azalea cover was 2025. And then 2026, the cover choices that I have in hand are the leaf, the berry, and the navy blooms. I do have both the season by season daily planner and the Fresh Start weekly in the snowfall. This is the 4th cover choice for Powersheets, and then the 5th one that I do not have is acorn. So first I thought we could do the green planners. Let me move some of this stuff for you. So this is the leaf, and for 2026, love this very, very pretty green color. It reminds me of sage. I'm not sure. I know that other people have said different things, but I think that this is a beautiful cover, and I've said this a couple of times. It is definitely my comfort zone. This is the 2022 green cover, which to me is more of like a bright Kelly green. So pretty. And then last year, this is the aloe, which was one of their cover choices for the Powersheets, but also the Fresh Start planners, daily and weekly goal planners, I think also had the aloe version. So you can see it's a little bit lighter than the leaf, and those are the different variations. Now, obviously, these are more teal and blue colors with the leaf. I think that this one would probably be closest to the snowfall for this year, but you can see it's much brighter. This is more of like a periwinkle almost than this cover. So those are all of the green variations that I have, which there are many because green is definitely my favorite color. The next variation that I wanted to show are the pinks and purples. Now, I do not have every pink. Oh gosh, I do have one other pink planner, but where is it? Okay, guys, I'm sorry. So this is the beautiful berry cover for 2026. This was purple for 2024. I can't remember the names of these. I would have to look them up, but obviously a completely different color than the berry. Then this year's Powersheets that I chose was the azalea cover, and it is a bright pink. Absolutely love this. This was completely outside of my comfort zone for this year, but I was really pleased to try this cover and I enjoyed using it, and I'm still enjoying using it. And then the neutral planner for last year was this really pale pink cover, and it had the neutral tabs on the side. This is the season by season daily for 2025, but you can kind of see the variation in pinks here. And then the last place that I wanted to stop is the floral pattern. Now, I absolutely love this navy blooms. This is not the floral pattern for the Powersheets last year. This was a different floral pattern, but still very similar to the floral pattern from last year for Powersheets. I prefer the larger blooms print. This is a little bit busy to me. I like that they have all of the colors from the different seasons combined here. I really like that, and I love the navy blue background. I wish that maybe the flowers were a little bit bigger, but this is also a beautiful, beautiful cover. And for me, it is definitely down to these two choices for my 2026 Powersheets. Now I wanted to take a couple of minutes to just talk about what the different Cultivate What Matters planners are for, because I know that there's some confusion every year on what you actually need for goal setting for the new year. So we're going to start with yearly planning and goal planning. So for yearly goal planning, you are going to want to get the 2026 Powersheets Goal Planner. This is a full year planner. It is dated in the fact that the months have dates on them, but there are no weekly or daily planning pages. This is specifically for goals. You have all of your prep work, you have your monthly reset, your monthly calendar, your break it down section, your tending list, and your month in review in the monthly sections. Plus you get all of the pages of prep work at the beginning. Let me see. There are 55 pages of prep work at the start of the Powersheets Goal Planner. This is a goal planner. It's not for personal planning unless you do not need weekly and daily planning pages. If you only need a monthly calendar to plan out your time, perhaps you use a digital planning system, or you just don't need a weekly or daily planner, this could work as a standalone. I started using the full year Powersheets back in 2017, like I said, and I love having everything all in one book for my goal setting. Now, I've also said in various places over the years that I always have a little notebook that I keep with my goal planner because I just like to write a lot. Like I said, they have streamlined the prep work quite a bit, but I absolutely loved all of that long drawn out prep work, all of the large sections that I could just journal and write down all of my thoughts. I still do that, and I still expand upon my answers to the prep work and add more questions as I'm going, which is why I have an additional notebook. That is not necessary unless you really like to do that like I do. But this is going to be all of your goal planning, all of your prep work for the entire year. But if you are like me and you want a paper planning system to go with the Powersheets, the next thing that you would want to look at is one of the season by season planners. You have both a weekly planner and a daily planner, and these partner great with the Powersheets because there is some attention to the goal setting from the Powersheets in both of these season by season planners. But you are not getting all of the prep work that you get at the beginning of the Powersheets. This is more of an agenda where you are using the pages to schedule out your month and your days or weeks, depending on which planner you choose. One of the things that I love about the season by season planners are the weekly refresh section. It really makes you look at your week as a whole and figure out what you want to work on as far as your goals. I love daily planning. I think that this is great with the hourly schedule on the left with the half-hour lines, and then your to-do list on the right. There's space for a priority and some extra little information down here. Saturday and Sunday are stacked on one page, but there are 2 columns for each day. So you're not getting your hourly schedule, but there is still plenty of space for a to-do list. And then you start with your weekly refresh for the next week, which is also where any habits you might have from your tending list can also go. So you have another place to check them off, especially if you do not feel like you are in the Powersheets every day. I personally try to get into the Powersheets every morning to just check off things. That is a personal preference. I know people who do it weekly and people who do it monthly. It really depends on you as a person and what will work best for you. For each quarter, there is a Plant Good Goals section. So there's a section to write what you want to work on in April, May, and June, goals for the season ahead, memories you want to make, and then in the season ahead, I want more and less of, and then what matters most this season. And then you move into your weekly rhythm ideas. This is a quarterly section. You probably saw it right at the beginning as well, where you can kind of time block your week and see what you want your week for the next season to look like. If you have specific events outside of the house or meetings or sports games or whatever it is, you can put that in there, and that just helps you figure out how much time you have for your goals. It also helps you be realistic with your time to see, are you saying yes to too many things? Do you need to take a step back? If you see a lot of overlap with the time blocks, you might need to say, okay, well, it's not really going to work to start something from 9 to 10, but have to be someplace else at 9:30. So you can lay this out. I always start with pencil, and actually I print something from Excel to give me kind of an overview before I actually write it in here, because I like things to look nice and pretty in my Powersheets. But this comes in both the Powersheets and the season by season for each quarter. So this is the daily planner. If you're looking for a daily planning calendar, this would be a great partner to the Powersheets. And the season by season daily planner comes in this snowfall as well as the berry. So you can mix and match however you would like. And with the season by season weekly planner, you have the same starting pages, and then you have the Plant Good Goals, which we just talked about, your weekly rhythm ideas, your monthly calendar, which is dated, and then your weekly planning pages. And I really, really like the setup of the weekly season by season and also the Fresh Start weekly, which we'll get into in just a second. I love that this has a two-page spread week. So you have your weekly refresh. This is what you see on the daily weekly refresh. What matters most this week, on my mind, what's ahead, habits to tend, and the gratitude is actually at the end of the week on the Saturday, Sunday page. And then you have this extra page for brain dump space, for to-do list, for whatever you need it to be. I do a brain dump every week for the week ahead, breaking things up into personal and work tasks. And so that is what I would use this for. And then you have your traditional hourly schedule with the half-hour time blocks. There's 4 spaces at the top for things that are not specifically timed. You can either ignore the hours and just kind of separate the sections however you want. I'm a vertical planner, and so I just ignore the hourly planning in weekly planners that offer the hours. But having all of the lines, lots of space to be able to write everything that you need for the week, plus a to-do list section, and then you start in with the next week with a new weekly refresh, your extra to-do list space, and your week at a glance schedule. So if you are getting the yearly Powersheets and you want to have a planner, a paper planner to go with it, the season by season daily planner or the season by season weekly would be a good fit, because you are getting all of the prep work, all of the goal setting pages for the month, and then you're also getting your schedule, what you need to plan out for the week, with an additional connection to the goals that Powersheets talks about. So if you are getting the 2026 yearly Powersheets and you want a paper planner, I would definitely take a look at the season by season. Again, they come in both the berry and the snowfall for the weekly and the daily planner. If you are new to Cultivate What Matters, or you're new to Powersheets, or you're new to goal setting in general, or you really like 90-day goal setting, the Fresh Start daily or weekly goal planner might be what you want to look at. Now, the Fresh Start goal planners are 90-day undated goal planners. They are for 12 weeks of goal planning. In each planner, it includes all of the Powersheets prep work, except for a couple of the annual pages, like the Brainstorm Your Year Ahead and that Mad Libs page. So you are missing these two pages from the prep work and the Fresh Start, as well as this page, the My Most Purposeful Year, but you're getting everything else in this planner for 90 days. This is a great option if you are new to Powersheets and you don't know what the prep work entails, or if you don't know how the planning system itself works. You could definitely get one of these when they launch on September 16th and try it out for the fourth quarter, do the prep work, figure out if this is a system that you think is going to work for you, and then get the 2026 Powersheets full year goal planner for next year. Or you may find that you really enjoy 90-day goal setting and want to continue doing the prep work each quarter or season to help you figure out exactly what goals you want to have for the coming quarter. If you are interested in quarterly goal planning, I really recommend this book, The 12-Week Year. It is so helpful to figure out how to make 90-day goals or 12-week goals. It gives you so much help and encouragement. And this, partnered with the Fresh Start Goal Planner, is very, very helpful. So this is the weekly, and you do have all of this space to figure out what goals you want for the coming season. They are goals for a quarter, they're not yearly goals. And then the goal action plans are not broken up into the 4 quarters the way that the Powersheets are. You're still answering the same questions over here, but instead of planning out for 4 seasons, you're just planning out for the 3 months for this planner. You still have space for 8 goals. You still have all of the education that comes in the Powersheets. You have the weekly rhythm ideas to map out your week for the season, what your ideal week is going to be. And then you have your monthly and planning pages. So you have a blank page to brainstorm the month. You have your undated monthly calendar, so you do have to put the dates in. You have your monthly reset section and your tending list. The other thing that this planner does not have, that the full year Powersheets does have, is this break it down section to break down your projects and goals into smaller steps. So you are getting your monthly reset and then your tending list. So you're missing this break it down section, which you may not actually need because this is just for 3 months. It's not for a full year. So you are already breaking your goals down into really small actionable steps for this quarter instead of thinking longer term at the full year. Then you have notes pages after your tending list. You still have your weekly refresh in the Fresh Start Weekly. It's the 2-page spread for the weekly refresh, and then your weekly planning pages. And it's laid out exactly the same as the season by season weekly. It's just not dated. So you have to put week of and date it, but it's still going to be that two-page spread of your weekly refresh and your weekly planning pages. And then at the end of the planner, you have a marking this season section, the same as the end of year for the 2026 Powersheets, as well as the end of the year in the season by season planners. But there is no pocket, there aren't any stickers, you don't have tabs, and there is less gold foiling in here. So that is the Fresh Start Weekly Goal Planner. And then the Fresh Start Daily Goal Planner is going to be exactly the same. You have all of the same prep work as the Fresh Start Weekly. It's just in a smaller size because this is a smaller planner. I think that it's actually larger than A5. So a little bit taller than A5, a little bit wider than A5, for the daily planner, but still, you know, it's definitely smaller. Maybe that won't really matter that much to you, but you are getting all of the same prep work. It's just on a smaller scale. You still have your goal action plans here, and 8 of those to break down your goals for the quarter. Then you get to your weekly rhythm ideas, same thing. Your monthly page here, blank page, your monthly calendar, your monthly reset and tending list, your 2 notes pages, and then your 1 page of weekly refresh and your daily planning pages. And so for the Fresh Start Daily Goal Planner, you get 1 page per day for your daily planning pages. So instead of having Saturday and Sunday stacked, each day has its own page. So if that is important to you and you don't want to do the full year power sheets, that is something to keep in mind. Whereas the season by season daily planner does stack Saturday and Sunday. So you have your days of the week up here, and you can just put whatever date it is and your weekly refresh over on the side here. And that's how it goes right to the end of the planner. Each month has its own blank page to start the month, your monthly calendar, your monthly reset and tending list, your 2 blank pages, your weekly refresh, and then your daily planning pages. And then you get to the end of the planner, and it does also have the marking the season. Again, the same as all of the other planners, they all include this. So if you are looking for a 90-day planner, this is going to be a great option because it includes the prep work, it includes the goals pages, the tending list, it includes your daily or weekly planning pages, and it's all compact for each quarter. So if you have not used Powersheets before, I think that this is a great option, and they even have some of the covers from last year. If you're looking for a different cover than Snowfall and the Berry, they still have Orchid and the Bold Blooms from last year in the Fresh Start Weekly, and the Fresh Start Daily, they still have the Lilac Blooms and the Aloe covers. So those options are currently available, and I'm assuming will continue to be available until they are completely sold out. But if you are looking for a full year system, you're going to want to look at the 2026 full year goal planner along with one of the weekly or daily season by season planners. If you do not need a planner at all, again, you can just get the 2026 power sheets. You do not need to get the planners extra, but if you want weekly or daily planning pages, you will need to have something extra. It can be a season by season planner, or it can be a digital system that you use. It can be a different planner that you use. I just wanted to kind of go through all of the options for you so that you are aware of them. I know that a lot of people are new to Powersheets. Their flagship product is the Powersheets Goal Planner, and it has been so incredibly helpful for me over the years. You've seen all of the Powersheets that I've used throughout the years, and I've been sharing them online, I think since 2017 is when I started sharing my work in the Powersheets. I've been sharing goal setting over on Townsend House since 2011, but in the Powersheets specifically, I think it's been since 2017, and it has streamlined my goal setting process so much. If you are looking for more help and encouragement with goals, I would love for you to come check out my membership community. That link is always in the description box. Or if you're looking for something Cultivate What Matters specific, they also offer Goal School Premium, which is going to be available on launch day, I believe for $99, which is a huge discount for their goal setting community. It's something that I am thinking about joining. I've never joined their Goal School Premium community, but I thought it might be fun to join it this year and just check it out. But I wanted to kind of go through all of the different options and let you know, if you are new or you really love 90-day goal setting, take a look at the Fresh Start goal planners. They are awesome and give you essentially everything all in one book. It is a little bit more expensive to buy 4 volumes of the Fresh Start daily or weekly planners. But if that's what you need to get all of the prep work each quarter, that is going to be a great deal. I think it's maybe $6 or $8 more to buy the 4 books than it is to buy one Powersheets and one season by season planner, because I believe these are $64 and these are $34. So the cost difference is not that much between getting both the 2026 Powersheets and a 2026 season by season planner versus getting 4 of the Fresh Start goal planners. So just keep that in mind. It really depends on how you set goals, what you're looking for, if you are new to Powersheets, or what types of goals you think you may want to work on in the coming season. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have questions, please let me know. I would love to chat about goals with you. Like I said, you can come check out my membership community. You can leave me a comment or email me. My contact form is always in the description box. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and I will see you in the next one. Thanks guys. Bye.